Curse of Strahd contains darker themes and mature subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised. Well, hello there, and welcome to the very first episode of Curse of Strahd versus the Amen. My name is Jake. I'll be your dungeon master for this adventure. I am super excited to do this, and we've got a wonderful cast of characters, all of which have actually played in campaigns we've had here on the channel before. Let's introduce ourselves, and we'll start with Josh. We'll start with the other Jay from JnJake Tabletop. Josh, who are you playing, and who are you?
Yeah, I'm Josh. I'm a Jay, and I am playing a Dragonborn Paladin named Tarsus. So yeah, that'll be a lot of fun, and that's all you need to know about me. I think that covers it.
That works. Who should go next, Josh?
Nooch.
Hello, I'm Nooch. This campaign I will be playing Aurelion Thornwarden. He's a ASMR druid, and should be fun. I'm excited to play with these guys again. Over to you, Lee.
Hi, I'm Lee. I'm the in the JnJs. I'm playing Gar Vochizar. He's a warlock. Ooh, over to you, Yoda.
Spooky.
I'm Yoda, also known as Michael. I'm taking up the rear here, and I play Castiel
Nice.
Briarforth, the gnome cleric.
Shortest for last. That's what I always say.
It's height discrimination. We're already doing it. Do us a favor, check the link tree and all the information in the description. I usually put it in the pinned comment too. Go say hi to them. And I'm just going to shout out Lee because he's got a YouTube channel. He makes
I always
content
forget
and things.
to do that. I'm sorry.
I'm going to do a quick little read that I have prepared for Lee.
I don't
Our
like
very
it.
own Lee.
I don't like
Very
this
own
at
Lee.
all.
You shut your mouth when I'm talking. Our very own Lee, who plays Gar Vochizar, also has his own YouTube channel dedicated entirely to making D&D fun again. Highly imitated, never duplicated. You will laugh, learn, and enjoy his content, so head to youtube.com/@thiscrits and subscribe today. He's also Irish and handsome. And that's what I have to say about that. All right, Josh, why don't you tell us a little something about JnJake Tabletop, and then we'll just dive right in.
Yeah. Here, if this is your first time, welcome. And here at JnJake Tabletop, our goal is to help you get the most out of your games, your role-playing games, whether that's Dungeons and Dragons or otherwise. Whether it's Dungeon Master advice, players advice, we even have a whole series about the action economy and really just how to master that. We're here for you. So if you're interested in that and you want to learn more, either hit the subscribe button or just click on our channel and check out one of the many playlists.
Heck yeah. Well done. Does anyone else have anything else they want to shout out that's relevant? And I'll just say not offensive. That's my job.
Does anyone have anything they want to shout out that's irrelevant?
I stubbed my toe this afternoon.
Okay, that does
Nice.
qualify.
You
Ben
probably
was
deserved
the
it.
day thinking it was Thursday, so there's that.
That's
All
unfortunate.
right.
I had buffalo wings for dinner.
Ooh. So you talk food, that's going to get us distracted. What did you have for dinner? Let us know in the comment section. Stop. There you go. The last thing I'll say is I also do graphic overlays. I did this overlay. This is the Gothic Castle overlay at TTRPGoverlay.com. You see it in the corner here. And without further ado, I think we should start playing D&D. So
Wait, I mean, you said graphic overlays. Are they 18 plus?
you
Hey,
have to go to TTRPGoverlay.com to find out.
All right, this intro hasn't been long enough. We need to come up with more.
You all find yourselves at a campsite with people that you don't know. The air is getting cold and brisk. and the soothing sounds of peaceful woods at night surround you. Each of you has more or less settled your things and figured out where you will rest when the time comes. As you sit together around the sputtering campfire, you notice that a low mist has begun gathering around the edges of your camp. Let's start with Gar.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Lee, why don't you tell me a little bit about what might be a typical day for Gar, or at least what is Gar doing right now?
Honestly, he's probably a little bit of a nerd, but one of those nerds who doesn't actually know much and just kind of wobbles his way through life trying to learn things as best he can, but not necessarily going about it the right way. So I would say more inquisitive in nature. He's one of the people who goes to learn about things. He sees something he doesn't know. He tries to look at it, inspect it, learn about it, not read about it or anything like that, go to the library or figure it out, try to literally analyze it. Maybe walking through a forest, taking a look at some different animals, some different funguses, some mushrooms. Maybe he ate a mushroom wrong and it got sick one time and that's how he learns. Just inquisitive, but quiet. Kind of keeps himself a little bit, kind of, no, I don't want to say recluse, because he's not necessarily a recluse per se, but more introverted. Speaks when it's prudent. He sits and listens more than he speaks. But a normal day, honestly, probably just wander in the woods. Not much.
Okay. Yeah, so it is a pretty normal day for Gar right now. I'd say the weather is kind of overcast, maybe a nice cool breeze. And I know your relationship with your patron is still kind of new, but there's a breeze that seems to be almost like nudging you in a certain direction. And eventually you see what looks like a large tree that you can't quite identify exactly what kind of tree it is, which is a little strange because you've walked these woods before and curiosity kind of gets the better of you, and you just kind of follow that direction, and you see maybe just like a tiny little glint of metal, like a little sparkle or shine of light that seemed to peer down. Then you look down and you see a book just waiting there.
I'm picking that bad Larry up. Are you kidding me? A book under a tree that I don't know anything about?
What could go wrong, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
As soon as you pick it up, you get a very familiar. You get like a very familiar presence, and like this is a gift from your patron to you.
Okay. Is there anything in the book?
So you open it up.
Of course I open it up. What? It doesn't say diary on it, right? Like,
it doesn't say diary. It's got no, really has no identifying marks. Save for as soon as you open it up, the opening cover looks to be a crest of some kind. You've never seen this crest before. You rack your mind for any like nobility or like family houses that you can think of. Nothing is ringing a bell. It looks like a shield that has a bird etched on it. The bird looks a little bigger than the shield. Looks kind of dark, almost like Gothic in nature. Mm-hmm. And you have on the top of it what looks like it's small, but it looks like there's a castle kind of at the top, which seems kind of intriguing.
And that's the only thing in the book itself?
Well, that's just on, as soon as you open it up, it's on the inside page. You flip the page once, and first it looks blank, and there's a certain like just as you start to get like, I don't get it, kind of a thing.
Yep.
It looks like a drop of dew comes from a branch up ahead and just lands on the page, but it's not clear water, it's like black. It hits the page. Ooh. And it almost looks like ink, and it starts to like move around and form into an image. The first image that you see looks to be a rather stoic-looking Aasimar, dressed in, I wouldn't say, he doesn't look like a traditional warrior, but there is definitely an air of martial prowess about him. And he just looks like he's leaning down at a stream, just refilling his water skin.
Okay.
Then the ink moves, leaving that image there, moves over to the other side of the page, and you see what appears to be a rather jovial looking dragonborn. Looks like he was maybe out for a hike or something like that, and he has come to what looks like a sunset over a picturesque looking valley. Like, it looks beautiful. And fine details in these drawings, by the way. Like, it's...
Okay.
It looks like a master artist has drawn these. And then you see the ink kind of looks like it goes around, like it's going to go to the back of that page, and you have to turn the page to see the next image, which you flip the page, and then you see a shorter looking creature, eventually easily identifiable as a gnome, who looks like he's got a feather around his neck, like on a necklace, and he's just like tilling the ground, like he's just working like farm work. Yeah. At that point, you get a certain, like there is that moment, like, I don't get it. What the heck is this? And then you just get a certain familiarity with these three individuals. Like, there's something about them that just feels like they're good people.
Okay.
And just as that sense kind of comes over you, the ink then travels over to the next page, which would be, like, if you're open face, you got the gnome page on the left, and that page on the right. You see actually a strikingly beautiful woman. She's in, I wouldn't say like super fancy, like noble clothes, but like she looks like she's wearing decent clothing, and her face turns kind of filled with fear and dread as the ink continues to draw out the rest of the picture, and you see a dark figure, very much dressed in fine noble clothing, very dark and brooding features, and he's smiling, and you see two fangs.
Okay.
You know, like, this dude is bad news. He's going after this woman.
Okay.
And deep, 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 deep in your heart, you just hear the phrase, "Save Irina, free Barovia."
Okay. Is this tree Barovia? What? I don't even know where that is.
It's funny you should say that, because in that moment, you you actually see the ink go onto the next page, and it looks like it's showing the picture of a clearing that you are quite familiar with. It's not even like 2 miles away from where you live, and it looks like a campsite, and you get the overwhelming urge that you are to set up camp and wait.
Great. Okay.
Because you have a task that you need to perform. Perfect.
Performance anxiety. Oh boy, here we go.
Yeah, roll a performance check.
All right. I mean, I guess I'll head there. But no reason not to. The magic book I found under a tree I don't know anything about told me to do it.
What could possibly go wrong?
I mean, I've never been led astray before.
Lee, Gar was the first to arrive here at the clearing, and you did your best to set up camp. Why don't you describe what Gar looks like, what he's doing, and maybe what's going through his mind right now?
Yeah. I mean, probably if he was the one there setting up camp, he probably set up a nice campfire, got it a little bit nice and tidy, a little bit, collected a bunch of extra firewood because he didn't know how long it was going to be for the rest of the people to get here. He's an average build elven male, long pointed ears, black, ever so slightly starting to gray, and I'm not living that out in my character right now. Hair, generally not. He looks like he is someone who would be very stoic, very quiet, very keep to himself, and he kind of does that. But he's surprisingly more friendly than one might imagine. So whoever got there first, he would generally introduce himself and try to get more information about what was occurring. But if anything, if the conversation is no longer going, he would probably just be getting rest fireward, waiting for whatever to happen, hoping that someone knows what they're supposed to do.
All right. Well, it should be an interesting combination, because next I'd like to talk about Aurelion. Which, why don't you give me give me a typical day for Aurelion? Like, what is he doing right now?
So Aurelion nowadays typically awakens with the sunrise. He tends to his campsite very methodically. It's a very simple clearing in the woods. Not too far from a stream, so that he's got fresh water. He breaks out the campfire from the night before, rolls up his bedroll, puts everything away very neat, very tidy, and then sets about his day, just patrolling the woods. There's a little path nearby, or a little trail through the woods that he likes to patrol as like a sentry, sticking to the shadows, staying out of sight, but acting as a silent guardian for travelers, traders, anyone who may be making their way through the woods just for an honest day.
Sounds like Aurelion's all about that van life.
He's definitely homeless. He's just he's at one with the woods, and ever since he lost his community, he feels very isolated and kind of just leans into that.
Now, I know in our off-camera discussions you've said his deity, or he worships Eldath, and what does Eldath mean to Aurelion?
Eldath was the protector of the druidic grove that he originally was in, where he also was a guardian, where he and his mentor would stay on the outskirts of the grove, patrolling and making sure that everyone inside the grove stayed safe from any outside threats. After losing his family and his grove and being completely on his own, he just wandered aimlessly until he had this huge vision in the middle of a storm on the coast, where he felt Eldath's presence in the driving rain and the crashing waves, that his story is not over and someone needs to champion the people who choose not to or are not strong enough to fend for themselves and defend themselves.
Yeah.
So he's taken that mantle almost as a challenge from Eldath.
So it's a typical day for Aurelion. Am I saying that right? Aurelion? Mm-hmm. Okay. Say for whatever the reason, he just feels a little thirsty. He's just wanders over to the stream, leans down, put the water skin in there to refill, and he sees like a little bit of a ripple in the water. You kind of turn and look, and you don't see anything like a fish or like any creature that could have disturbed the water, right? Like if there was just some kind of a ripple, and for whatever reason, just one part of the ripple seems to kind of catch your attention, and as the ripple goes across, you see a very pale-looking elven man. It's difficult to tell the age of elves because they live such a long time. But he's got very dark hair. Looks like he's brooding. He's kind of wearing sort of like tattered-ish robes. Like, they're not necessarily like dirty, but they just seem like they've been used a long time. He's holding like a book in his hand, and before you know it, you kind of like blink because you're like, what the heck? Like, am I seeing things? Like what is this? And then you are overcome with a deep sense of sadness and strife. Like there's just no, like something is just off. You see just like a flash of like fog, almost like it's not like your senses have betrayed you. Like if you like pay attention to like, you know, the other side of the stream, like you could see it, like it's fine. But like there's just like almost like you're seeing two images superimposed on each other, and you see sorrow. Like you see this village that looks dilapidated, and just an immense amount of sadness washes over you. You kind of take a steadying breath to try and figure out like what this could be or what this could mean, and you just have this overwhelming understanding, this like urge that there is someplace you have to be right now, and you know exactly how to get there. Nooch, Aurelion was the second person to arrive at the campsite. So, just like with Lee, why don't you describe what Aurelion looks like, what he's doing, and then also like what's going through his mind.
Sure. So as he steps into the clearing, you see a tall, lithe, with a slightly like almost like a mid like bluish green kind of like tint to his skin, comes and steps out into the grove. He's got long, past his shoulders, silvery gray hair, that almost always looks kind of like damp, or almost like he took a shower like 20 minutes ago. So it's just still holding that moisture, but not dripping wet.
That detail.
And he comes stepping out into the grove, and just feeling very, very wary of what he's stepping into.
Okay. I'm just curious about how much conversation may occur between Gar and Aurelion before. I feel like we're like, hey, what's that?
I feel like Gar would try to strike up more of a conversation of trying to get out of for no reason other than trying to know what he knows, because I don't know anything.
I would walk up to whatever you're doing, whatever you're in the middle of.
By the way, he looks familiar to you.
I was like, is this who I recognize?
Absolutely. And Gar, Aurelion looks familiar to you.
Okay.
It would seem we've already met somehow.
Oh, good. It's not just me who recognized you. That stops the awkward introduction, I suppose. Do you know why we're here?
I was hoping to get answers from you.
Good.
Not get more questions.
Well, I got some bad news. Hi, I'm Gar. Stick his hand out.
Aurelion.
Aurelion? Nice to meet you, Aurelion. I tidied up the camp. I think we got a couple more people we're waiting for. I don't know what we're waiting for. Have a seat. I don't have any drinks or anything, but you make yourself comfortable. I don't know what to do with my hands. I'm gonna get some firewood. I'll be right back.
You mentioned others?
Oh, you didn't. Oh, you don't. Yeah, there's two more. At least you didn't see two more?
Did I notice anybody coming in here?
Nope.
Is this where I would set up a campsite?
Yes, you actually are, I would say, mildly impressed.
Okay. And it looks like he's got plenty of firewood already stocked up.
Well, since he's about to go get it, we'll say he has some.
Well, he also mentioned in the beginning that he had a bunch.
He's got some.
Yeah.
I'll put a kettle on.
Nice.
Great. Cool. Nice. Yeah.
All right. Let's turn to Castiel next. All right, Michael. Tell me a little bit about Castiel. Like, what is it as a normal day, or at least like what is he doing? We'll just say, what is he doing right now?
So right now, he is actually in a little village-esque kind of area where there's some huts. He's actually with some gnomes at the moment, even though he doesn't tend to go around gnomes that much because he doesn't speak gnomish. But he is just helping people between healing and helping grow crops and helping keep weeds away, but also making it to where people don't have to destroy nature. And just trying to help teach people the balance between the land and what they need.
Would you say it's fair to say that he would just spend some time in the field working on
Definitely.
like that?
You know, as much as he uses magic, he also tills and gets the ground going and gets out the rocks, makes it fertile land.
All right, so I imagine that Castiel right now is he's just out in the field. Maybe he's just working it to maybe dig up some beets that he thinks might be ready to be harvested. And for whatever reason, this day something just feels a little bit different about this day to you. You can't put your finger on it. There's no like, I feel happy, I feel sad. There's nothing about that. There's just a looming something. And as he digs to put his trowel into the ground, the feather just comes loose out from behind his shirt, and the feather being your holy symbol. And it's got that shimmer to it that like there's something going on, and you kind of instinctively just like fiddle with it a little bit, and you get a flash over your eyes, like you almost like you're having a vision, and you see a very pale elven man. I think for like a high elf, you might expect them to perhaps be a little bit more well groomed and little bit more fashionable, maybe. But he's wearing like older clothes. It doesn't look like they're like ratty, but like they just look like, okay, you've had this for years. He doesn't look like he's middle-aged or anything like that. He looks youngish, but with elves, it's difficult to know. Right. He's holding a book, and you get a sense, like a deep sense of fear. Not for him, you're not afraid, but there's a source of great fear. People are bound. Even wildlife is afraid. There's a cage of sorts. There's some kind of perversion, a twisting of the natural way. It's very hard to place exactly what it is you're sensing, but something is happening, and Kotal is talking to you. And as you kind of, the experience sort of just like fades a little bit, the feather is still shimmering, but you let it go, and it doesn't quite like land like the way gravity would you'd expect it to. Mm-hmm. It sort of almost feels like a magnetic pull, slightly into a certain direction. And as you kind of like stand up and turn, like it's not like sticking straight out, but it's like it's not laying on your chest. Like there's a certain, and you feel very strongly compelled to head in that direction. Because you have to be there. Whatever it is, Kotal needs you. We'll say, right as the tea kettle is whistling, or just boiling the water in a pot, however you feel like Aurelion would be doing that task. Castiel, you're the third person to arrive. Why don't you describe what Castiel looks like, what he's doing, and then perhaps what's going through his mind?
Castiel just kind of has a permanent smile on his face most of the time. Like, it's pretty rare for him not to. He's pale skin, just with a little bit of a greenish hue to him. He's pretty short. Like, I mean, you know, even for a gnome, he's on the shorter side for gnomes, and pretty skinny too. Like, he's almost scrawny. Like, he looks a little, I don't want to say boyish, but like he definitely shows being slightly on the younger side of being a gnome. Like, definitely an adult, but on the younger side. And he has sparkling green eyes and curly brown hair that's kind of like tousled, that just kind of like makes it look like somebody, like, you know, did that to his hair and before he set out for the day. And he's kind of like, you can tell there's a pep in his step as he's walking into the camp. He kind of like bounces just a little bit as he's walking in.
Whether Gar is back or not is up to you, Lee, but Aurelion, you notice this gnome walking up.
Chipper, are we?
It's a beautiful day, isn't it?
Is it daytime?
Absolutely not.
All right. Tea?
Oh, yes. What kind of tea is it? I love a good tea.
Prefers clouds and mist. Green tea.
It's my third favorite kind of tea.
Well, it'll be your favorite tonight because it's the tea we have.
You know, I think I like you. I'm Castiel.
Aurelion.
Has anyone else arrived?
Well, there's an individual here who would appear invited me. Pale elven man, dark hair.
Ah, yes. Gar, as I like to call him.
You know Gar.
I mean, I don't really know him, but he's the one who invited me as well.
Questions keep piling up.
But that's how you learn.
Questions are arguably more important than answers. Questions keep you moving forward.
Good outlook.
We'll say at that point, a brooding-looking elf walks up to the camp with its arms filled with firewood.
Oh,
As Gar, you now see Castiel has joined.
I don't know their names, right? I do.
You don't. You don't. But you do recognize. It's actually what you saw. It's strikingly accurate.
Okay. Yeah, I'll walk up. I got firewood. Hi. There's the second one. What's your name? Hi, I'm Gar.
I'm Castiel. Nice
Hi,
to meet
Castiel.
you.
Nice to meet you, Castiel. Good. I think we have one more person coming. Do you know why we're here?
Because you invited us. Well, I mean, on top of that, my deity did kind of tell me I needed to go on a journey, and then along the way, I get an invite from you.
An invite from me? How'd you get an invite from me?
How are you aware of who we are?
Well, the same way you were aware of who I was, I assume.
So why are you asking silly questions?
Well, I didn't write an invitation. How?
What is
You
your
were the first one
recollection of-
here, so you had to be the one who invited us, right?
I must have had a really long night if that's the case, because I do not recall inviting anyone. All I remember is seeing you all here. So, anyways, thanks for coming to some random invitation, though. That's really, really nice of you. It was my birthday like a week ago. No one came. So this is really nice to have people here just to hang out with.
It was your birthday last week?
Yeah.
You see Castiel rummaging in his pack. and he pulls out this little leaf that's kind of like rolled over something and like kind of like tucked away, and he hands it to you.
Oh, okay.
Here's a present.
Thanks. What is it?
As you open it, you find that there's like 3 acorns in there. That's from a really, really rare oak that it grows a little bit faster, has very strong wood. It's great for almost anything, whether building, weapons, whatever you may need. It's everyone could use.
Wow, that's such a good gift idea. I love it. Them, 3 of them. I'm gonna put. They're my lucky acorns, and I'm gonna put them somewhere and never lose them. 3 lucky birthday acorns in my inventory.
And as you're putting the acorns wherever you want to put them, let's talk about Tarsus. What's like a typical day, or like what is Tarsus doing right now?
Yeah, I mean, a typical day, just in general, Tarsus would be, he's looking for ways to spread joy, right? Follower of Lyra, and that's it. Joy it's a necessity. It's not a luxury. It's a part of life. So I think right now probably going for a nice walk through. Maybe not a mountain. Mountain seems like a lot, but just a nice wilderness walk. Something he could get some elevation and catch the sunrise or the sunset. Up to you.
I think the sunset actually might fit a little bit here. So we'll say you're approaching a spot that Tarsus knows where he's going. This is just a place that grounds him. It, feels like it gives him strength and just joy, right? I mean, he worships the joy bringer. As you're walking, you feel like you're somewhere around, you figure maybe 5 minutes away, and the general lightheartedness in your heart, your spirit, it just feels like it's oozing away a little bit. And there's a certain something about you that's like, this is weird. You didn't think of anything sad. You felt like your mental health was on point, like you were thinking good thoughts. You were focusing on good things, true things, like those kinds of things that would just normally be in your mind. And as you get to this beautiful view, I mean, you timed it perfectly. The sun is setting. You see gorgeous hues of oranges and yellows and pinks. Like the clouds are even like it. What you're seeing and what you're feeling are so diametrically opposed. Like there's like almost like a weird like dread just kind of envelops you, and a gust of wind that feels familiar to you. It feels like it's tugging at your clothing, your cloak. I know you're probably wearing armor just because you're a paladin. That's what you do.
I'm wearing a cloak over the armor. It's okay.
That's right. And normally this might be something that might make you just want to feel like I'm not alone. This is where this would inspire me to dance. Like this is Lyra, you and Lyra, like it's a personal relationship, right? Like you're together in this. But you see a different valley in front of you than you're used to seeing. It looks like a dense fog is going to roll in over the valley. You can tell that the sunset that you're seeing, it's sort of like you're seeing 2 images over itself. Like you see a completely overcast sky, but you also sort of behind the clouds also see the sunset. And you just looked out over the valley, and this land that you're seeing is completely bereft of any joy. There is no lightheartedness. Everything is just heavy. There's oppression. There's just a dread. There's just nothing good exists in this valley. And that wind blows through your cloak again. And you know exactly where you're supposed to go. Lyra is calling you to do something, and it's extremely important. And as you take a step forward, you see a pale elven man. It's like a shimmering image, if you will. You've seen illusions before. You've been around the block. And this elven man, it's difficult to place his age, but he's carrying a book. He's wearing robes that seem very worn, not fashionable as you might expect. You could tell he's high elven and not like a wood elf. And for lack of a better phrase, he just looks like an emo boy. You know, like just really dark and brooding. And you know that Lyra needs you to find him because there's a very important job that needs doing.
And does he look happy? Does he look sad? I know you said like the description was kind of emo as far as
he's brooding. He's brooding.
He's brooding. Okay. Yeah, I think Tarsus would just kind of like look to him, look down for a moment and just say, "All right, mistress, let's turn some mourning into dancing," and just walk in that direction.
Yes. Josh, Tarsus is now approaching this campsite. So why don't you take a moment, describe what Tarsus looks like, what he's doing, maybe what's going on through his mind, and how he's going to react to this scene in front of him.
Sure. Yeah. So Tarsus is he's a blue dragonborn. He looks a little older. You know, there's still a vibrant blue shine to his scales, but they also look weathered. You know, like they've seen years of battle. He's got some scars as well. Broad shoulders. He's tall. He's strong. He's got a commanding presence, but a warm and inviting smile. And he carries he's wearing chainmail armor. There's some vibrant gold, some red, and some sapphire accents on there. His longsword and his shield are adorned with symbols, like a sunburst, some dancing figures, and a six-pointed, a triangle, three 6-pointed stars, which some of you might know to be the symbol of Lyra. Is that what we decided? Lyra, thank you.
I think so.
We didn't decide that.
Yes, you're right. That's
Someone
just correct.
can correct this in the comment section.
Lyra. Yanni.
And he just kind of approaches slowly and walks over. And does he see Castiel gift Gar something and say happy birthday? Like, is that something that he was close enough to see?
If that's what you want, absolutely.
All right. He'll just kind of walk on up, and if he sees that, he'll just say, well, happy birthday. I didn't realize this was a celebration, but I would have brought a cake or perhaps a guitar. My name's Tarsus.
Oh, thanks. I didn't know it was a celebration either. Hi, Tarsus. I'm Gar. This is Castiel, and this is Aurelion. I think that's everyone that's supposed to be here.
He'll take a short bow and just say, it's a pleasure to meet the three of you. Lyra's blessings be with you, and her joy be upon you.
And also with you.
Aurelion will pass him a cup of tea. Just kind of study everyone's face, try and get a read on everybody as much as possible.
Tarsus will thank you and take.
So did you invite us here, Tarsus?
Gar invited us.
I didn't invite anyone. Okay.
I just saw a really sad man and followed the trail
I'm
to see if I
actually
could
not that.
help.
I get that a lot.
That brooding look about you.
Yeah, I get it a lot. Like, I was kind of hoping once everyone got here, we'd know what we're supposed to do. So,
Well, I think a great place to start would be what everyone's vision was that brought them here.
that's a good idea.
Seeing as Gar's has the most payoff, we should probably hold that for last. Castiel?
Dude, talk about blue balls, guys. There's not much to it. Sorry, I hate to spoil it. Sorry.
Out of character, I don't remember my vision well enough to.
You were tilling the ground, and the shimmering feather seemed to just kind of direct you to this area. But you just
I do
you
remember
just saw
that,
an image
but I wasn't
of
sure if
Gar.
I had like a vision though.
You had a vision of Gar, and that there was some place you needed to be.
I mean, if we're editing, we could always just have that as a throw to his flashback.
Oh, that already
The
happened.
scenes that we. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so then we don't need to know anything. So then we could just pitch to each person. And
Everyone should try to repeat it in as much detail as you can, and we'll make a video for each of us comparing
how
that
close we came.
and how close we came.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Wow, that was so vivid.
So, like I said,
Yeah, Tarsus kind of just tells you about going through a walk through the woods like I normally do, and the sunset was clouded by fog, and I saw a very sad, brooding elf, and felt like it was my job to go help him. You looked like you were in need.
I really do have a resting brood face. Yeah, anyways, my visions was just I saw all of you in your own places, and then I saw this place, and I knew where this place was, so I came here and assumed you all would come here too. So I didn't invite you, I just kind of saw you. That's pretty much it.
Well, someone brought us all together. This kind of thing happen to you often, Gar, with visions of people and it coming true?
Often? No. More than once, yes. But I wouldn't call it more than a coincidence at this point.
so why would each of our deities reach out to us specifically to all come to this location in order to meet one another? What business is
there
at
was-
hand?
Okay,
Clearly
so
they have there's something we need to do, and it sounds like we need to do it together.
all right. Well, there's one thing
Amen.
I didn't say that didn't
Amen.
necessarily pertain to you all, but I guess it's important. Apparently, there's some sort of big evil thing. But let me just show you. Hold on a second. I'm gonna pull out my book. I'm gonna put it on the stump that I carved beautifully to look like the Mona Lisa while I was waiting for everybody. Not that the Mona Lisa exists, but it's beautiful. And I'll put it down. I'll open it. And I'll say, "Look, this is it's everyone in the book, right?"
And Gar, you see everything as you saw, but Castiel, Aurelion, and Tarsus see blank pages.
Son of a bitch. Yeah. So there's Castiel. There's
Tarsus laughs.
I think Gar is suffering from some sort of disease or illness.
You want to roll a medicine check or an insight check? Take
Thanks
a
for
break.
coming to my birthday, everyone.
Both of them are the same at a +4, so let's see.
That's not too bad.
That is a 12 total.
I I don't think you don't think he's ill. Yeah, you don't think he's ill, but whether or not you believe him or not, that could be up to you.
All right. Well, look.
So I'm right here.
Yeah, you're right there. I think you're like farming or something. I can't really tell.
That's what I was doing before I came here.
Aurelion's over here doing the thing that I remember in great detail.
He's getting water in his water.
Getting water. Yep, great detail. And then same thing. But this is the important part is the next page, and I'll flip over to the next page. See, so there's words that said, look right here, save Irina, and then there's like an evil thing.
Save Barovia.
Save Barovia, that's it, thank you. But that happened after I saw all of you.
Let me get this straight, Gar.
Right here.
Are you? All right. First, I thought you were joking with us all here, and I laughed. But it looks like you really believe there's something on these pages. I don't see anything. And I look to Aurelion and Castiel. Like, am I crazy?
They're as blank as a baby's bottom.
Okay, well.
What's on some of the earlier pages?
It's just you. Just illustrations of you all.
But
yeah, he's at the beginning of the book for whatever it's worth.
Oh,
That's it.
this is the very beginning.
Brand new
There
book.
are no beginning pages.
It's like it's being written. And it starts off with you all, and then Irina, and then Barovia, and that's it. So, I'm really upset you can't see it, because you probably think I'm crazy. I'm not crazy.
Are you crazy?
No. Although I'm starting to
Crazy.
feel like it. Magical books telling me, but I mean,
It's not feet.
you know what? Put it away. It's a stupid book.
I mean, listen, my golden feather brought me here, so who am I to judge that you can see things in a book that I can't?
That's okay. Good to know.
I've seen crazier. And regardless of what I see on the pages and what I don't see on the pages, you saw all of us and we came here.
And we were left here.
Now, do you guys know anything? Barovia mean anything to you all?
I was gonna ask the DM that. Yeah, does that mean anything to us?
No.
Does Irina mean
none of
anything
About
to
Irina,
us?
yeah.
Yeah.
Nope.
So none of us have ever had an ex named Irina. Just
roll
Wow.
roll a percentile die.
no. Actually, hey, why not? See, that's the tens. That is a 6. 65.
Nope.
What about big spooky guy?
You're gonna have to explain him a little better than that. We
He's
couldn't
got
see him.
teeth. He's got angry looking teeth.
I'm angry.
Like angry looking teeth. Like fangs?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Yes.
Like a snake?
Kind of.
Like-
What is that?
Like
Real-
a dragon, I kind of glance at Tarsus.
Whoa.
Like a wolf?
He's got fangs, like the sharp 2 fangs. Like
Lots of animals have 2
what are
fangs.
those? No, what's the thing called? Two big fangs.
Like a zebra?
Saber tooth.
It's got to be a zebra. That's what it is, I think. Right? The zebra's the one with the teeth.
Zebra.
Should I roll to see if I know what he's trying to explain to us?
You don't have to. I feel like it's
Don't like walruses have those big tusky thingies?
I think it's a zebra.
you're right. I think you're right,
that.
Castiel.
Yeah.
Narwhals.
We were talking about maybe a vampire.
That's it. Thank you. Zebra, vampire. Yeah.
Oh,
Empires
what's the
actually
point?
real?
I mean, I'm not sure. I can tell you that that's who this looked like. Judging purely on the looking not happy and the teeth part.
Those were myths like hags.
I've tangled with a hag or two.
Hags are as real as the sole of your shoe.
Mm-hmm.
So let me get this straight. You have a blank book that only you can read.
I guess.
We are the beginning of the book, which means that we are writing someone else's story.
I'm not in the book.
Are you the author then?
I didn't write the book. If I wrote the book, you'd be able to see it.
Question is, are you writing it?
Maybe I'm the narrator. Oh, man. Oh.
The
My spelling is
unreliable
so
narrator
poor.
trope.
His name was Robert Paulson.
I don't know. I found this book, and this is what happened. So...
Maybe the book were the friends we made along the way. See some fine gentlemen here. We're sharing tea together. None of this makes sense, but maybe it will in time.
I hope so, because I'm lost.
Did pick a good spot for us to stay. Look at how green this grass is. You've really seen a hag? Those are like bedtime stories that I was
thought
told.
so too. Then one of my friends got turned into a goat. Mm-hmm.
That is wild.
Don't make a deal with the face, son. Ain't worth it.
Some areas of the forest are best left alone.
All right, but are we doing anything else for this particular camp scene?
No.
Okay.
I would take first watch.
Oh, good lord.
All right.
If no one woke up to replace me, I would just stay up all night.
I would take
Like this.
second watch. I wouldn't leave you like that.
Now let's be clear.
No,
Did you
I'm
ask
just saying,
somebody-
like, if
did you
no one was like, all right, yeah, like,
did
we're
you
gonna set up
ask
a
if
watch
anyone
schedule.
was? Yeah, because if not, Castiel's just gonna sleep through the night.
He's like, I'm good, man.
I definitely would not have asked.
I mean, I get up third then.
I think 3 will do the job.
Does anyone wake up, Castiel?
No.
Do you wake him up for
Well-
fourth watch?
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Oh.
Tarsus, Gar, Castiel, you all settle in to wherever you're going to be trying to get some shut-eye. Gar, I'm assuming you're going to be doing your elven trance
Mm-hmm.
sort of thing. You make me feel like trancing. And Aurelion, you're doing your thing. You're very used to being alone and mindful of what to look out for. But the mist that has gathered around the camp, at first, like as you were settling in, it almost looked like it circled around the campsite. Like at first, it wasn't like it wouldn't continue in, and maybe you were praying to Eldath, maybe you were jotting something down, or just whatever. You start to notice that the mist seems to just slowly be moving towards you. It's not fast at all. And you think maybe I should tell someone or wake someone up. And the next thing you know, all 4 of you find yourselves in a sort of dreamlike state. None of you have any specific memory of falling asleep, and I imagine this is probably particularly disorienting for Aurelion, because it felt like in one moment you were noticing the mist start to enclose on the campsite. and now you're just surrounded by fog in the dead of night. You're not even fully aware of like a corporeal body that you have, or that Tarsus has, or Castiel or Gar. Like you're, if you play Baldur's Gate, it's almost like you're a soul echo, like almost like a wisp of sorts. All four of you actually feel the same way. You're not sure if you're still with the group or you're on your own. You're not sure if it's a dream or a vision. But you are able to look around a little bit, and you feel as almost as if you're floating along a muddy road, now through unfamiliar woods. The campsite is gone. You're not sure what's going on. Giant trees loom on both sides of this road, and the branches feel like they're clawing at the mist around you. The fog spills out of the forest, swallowing up the road behind you as you traverse it. And ahead, jutting from the impenetrable woods on both sides of the road, are high stone buttresses looming gray in the fog. Huge iron gates hang on the stonework. Dew clings with cold tenacity to the rusted bars, and two headless statues of armed guardians flank the gate, their heads now lying among the weeds at their feet. They greet you only with silence.
You said that we're solo or we're together on this. I think you said solo, but I just want to make sure I understand correctly.
You're not aware of anyone else's presence.
Okay, thank you.
The second that I would have sort of regained consciousness, I would have reached for my weapons. Would anything have happened?
You're not really
like it wouldn't
in
have felt
control.
like anything even happened.
Yeah, like you're like not fully in control of what's happening.
Gotcha.
That is a buttress if I've ever seen one.
That's a cheeky comment.
We'll get to the bottom of this.
One buttress to rule them all.
Yes. Yes, so these armed headless statue guardians, they greet you only with silence. A harsh breeze sweeps past you, and the gates swing open, inviting you to pass through. They screech as the hinges move. Whether of your own accord or not, you pass through these gates, and they screech behind you. You find yourselves continuing along this path through the foggy woods, and I would like each of you to make a perception check, please.
Ooh.
9.
Whoa.
8 million.
I just got a natural 20 for my first D20 roll of this campaign.
First and only.
You're muted.
Josh, you had a natural 20. Nooch, what'd you get?
Total 23.
Lee?
9.
Michael?
22.
Okay, so everybody but Gar periodically notices sets of eyes watching you as you travel along this road. And for the three of you that succeeded, I would like insight checks.
It's
This is great.
multiple
I
pairs.
love this. This is such nice weather we're having.
Whether it's the same set of eyes or different eyes is difficult to discern. How far away do they seem?
Mm-hmm.
You're on a foggy road.
Does it seem like
Maybe
they're
it's
like
the
right in
closest-
front of me or like a ways off?
No, just at the closest they could be would be like 20 feet, 15 feet.
That's a 17 for my insight.
Okay.
17 as well.
16.
Okay, all three of you have the same result. The eyes seem cautious, yet intrigued as they watch you.
And this is the first thing that any of, I guess, just the three of us have sensed. Like, we still don't sense each other. It's basically like, I'm alone, I'm on this path, and also now there's eyes.
Yeah, I mean, besides the muddy road, the fog, and the gates. But yeah, this would be in
just
addition to that.
as far as like a
Maybe notable besides the gate, I would say yes. This is.
And
Yeah, and
we cannot
especially
tell if they're the same or different.
correct.
There's no like different feeling of like intensity of the look or emotion behind them. We just
Your insight has discerned cautious and intrigued.
do I have the ability to call out to it?
Do you try?
Sure.
You feel like you don't have a mouth, but like in your mind, you sort of hear your own like internal head voice sort of echo out. What do you say? Or what do you try to say?
Hello, friend. Hello, friend. Hello, friend. Hello, friend.
It just bounces back.
You said there were plants? There were plants around? Like as we were
Well, I mean, there's trees and just there's woods and stuff.
do I recognize any of the trees? Like I'm basically trying to get a feel for like where we are like regionally as far as like what kind of climate we're gonna be in and maybe try and figure out where we are based on the
Want to roll a nature check?
Yes. That's bad. 8. I don't know anything.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this: you notice that like the foliage is different than the campsite, like the region you were in at that point. But beyond
So I
that, you're
just-
like, okay, I don't really know where. Like it's non-specific enough for you to know exactly where you might be.
Okay.
And in this dream-like, vision-like state, you're not sure how long it's been. Really, you've been. But the woods eventually on either side of this muddy road just give way to what you could reasonably guess are hills and grasslands. The fog makes discerning details in the terrain around you like just nearly impossible. Eventually, this road leads to a village. Its tall houses feel dark as tombstones. Nestled among these solemn dwellings are a handful of closed-up shops, and even the tavern is shut tight. Glancing around, you look down, and you see your limbs again. All 4 of you see each other again, and whether you're dreaming or not is still unclear, but you do feel a certain offness to the state of being that you're in. And it's at that point that you notice a soft whimpering that draws your eyes toward a pair of children standing in the middle of an otherwise lifeless street.
Anyone else hear
I'll
that?
give myself a little pinch.
It hurts like you would expect it to.
Do the children look normal?
Pretty rude
In
question,
what
Michael.
way? Like, what do you like? In what way do you mean?
Like, so I mean, I've seen quite a different races and things in my travels, but is like, do they look off for whatever they are? Like, does it look like there's something wrong with them? I would say
Fair enough.
physically, like some sort of like physical abnormality that would like raise a question mark or a flag.
No, they seem to be human children. The girl looks older than. Difficult to tell if it's a boy or a girl as the smaller one at this point. But the smaller one appears to be the one that's disturbed. I would say outside of emotional distress and maybe fashion that you've never seen before or are very unfamiliar with, you're not really sure what, like, if anything would be off in that way.
And approximately how far away are they?
Um,
Do they appear?
we'll say 40 feet, maybe.
Do any of you have any clue where we are? Nothing that I saw coming in looks familiar.
Well, I would have thought I was on a trip before, but those two guardians didn't speak. Neither could I. I look at Aurelion and just say, "You didn't put Whispering Toadstool in that tea, did you?"
If only. While I was on watch, mist started slowly creeping in, and next thing I knew, here we were. I didn't even have a chance to do anything about it.
Well, what was that place your book wrote about?
Barovia.
Never heard of it. I've never seen a place like this or people like these. Maybe this is why we were brought together.
Well, I'll tell you what. I've never had a book tell me to meet a bunch of strangers in a single place. I've never been magically pulled from my place and wherever we were sleeping to now here and not be able to speak or move. This is all probably what we're supposed to be doing. At least that's my guess. But who knows? I'm just reading a magical book no one can read, but me.
One day you'll tell us where you got that book from.
Tarsus is going to whisper to Castiel and just say, "I know I joined a little bit late." What? You're good?
Just imagining like
Height
6'5" Tarsus leaning down to whisper to Castiel.
I thought
and it not being slick at all.
I saw. Oh yeah, that's fine. That's fine. It looked like a timeout to me. I was like, "Oh wait."
I don't know why you thought this looked like timeout.
Because it was in the corner of my eye, Jake. No.
Yes, that's why.
Yeah. And he'll just say, I know I showed up a little later. Are we sure he isn't some type of hag? And this ain't all some type of illusion?"
I didn't even know hags were real, so now Castiel's giving Gar the side eye.
Look,
Even though, I mean, Aurelion was the one on watch when this happened, so
I will
I don't know.
end your life if you think that I brought us anywhere.
No. Listen, I'm whispering that too.
My passive perception is through the roof.
talk to me
It's
like a
easy to
person.
tell that they're whispering to each other.
Yeah, no, it's not. I didn't.
The height difference is way too big.
I
To be
just
like, what are you
imagine him
doing,
like-
Tarsus?
It's rude to peek down,
Just
so he picks him up
tying my-
instead to speak to him. So,
I feel like all right. So at this point, noticing that everyone is seeing.
quiet or staring at us.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull Castiel aside, like 5 feet aside, if that, and just say, "I don't have any reason not to trust them or not to trust you, so let's not tell them that we thought they might be a hag, and let's just see where this goes, all right?"
I would pull Aurelion aside just 5 feet, not even 5 feet away, and just have our own little sidebar and say, "I don't think they like us."
Whether they like us or not is irrelevant. The important part is where are we? How do we get back? Also, we should probably address these crying children.
Not hearing any of that, I'm gonna pull the both of you aside, which is actually closer to me and Castiel, and just say, regardless of how we got here, I think we should probably find out what's going on with those crying children.
And while you guys are doing that, Castiel's going to see what's wrong with these crying children.
You guys are talking about it? Castiel's gonna do something about it.
Can I quickly surveil the area and see if I see the same, like, eyes on us kind of thing? Like, do I feel like we're being watched around where we are again?
Yeah, roll a perception check.
That's a natural 20.
Ooh.
Natural 20, nice.
Do you want a total on that?
Sure.
Okay.
You
20.
know I love degrees of success.
26.
Yeah, so the mist is, I mean, like you kind of turn from what you feel like was the direction behind you, and you just see this like misty fog. It's kind of in almost all the directions except for towards where the children are. It seems to be a little bit more space. And because you got a natural 20, as you look behind the children, you see what looks like a tall brick row house that seems like it's probably seen better days. It doesn't look like there's any activity in there, like you don't see lights or anything like that. Not that that necessarily means anything, but you do see a gated portico on the ground floor, and the gate looks slightly ajar. And then the houses on either side of this house appear to be abandoned, and the windows and doors are boarded up.
But they're not on this one.
Correct. And as you're just kind of getting your bearings, taking in the situation, Castiel approaches, and yeah, you see the girl turns to the younger one and is kind of like shushing the kid and says, "There's a monster in our house. Can you help us?"
Of course. Hey guys, they need some help. Where's your house at?
And she turns and points, and you see the same house that Aurelion had seen. You being closer, it's much easier at this point.
Is there anything you can tell us? And I kind of just like motion at the group, and I'm just thinking they're probably coming this way at this point. About this monster? What is it?
The boy looks to be holding some kind of like stuffed doll, and he kind of like is sniffling and kind of just like looks up and is like, "Rose, I don't know." And she's like, "Shh, Thorn, be quiet. We don't know what the monster looks like, but we've just heard its terrible howls. Mommy and Daddy say they keep him trapped in the basement. But our baby brother's in the third floor nursery."
Your parents keep a monster in the basement?
That's what they said. I hear the monster. And the boy just kind of goes, "So scary."
Has anyone else walked up at this point, or is it still just me?
Yeah.
What do these kids look like?
I did send them the image there. They look, it's fine. They look fairly well dressed, actually. Again, it's like fashion that you're not familiar with, like the style. Like there's that seems just like, okay, I don't know. It's like maybe a different time era, a different culture. Like it's just foreign to you. But they're just human children. They seem to be, just like they're distressed, really.
Where are your parents at currently? Are they in the house as well?
I don't know. This is the little boy.
Oh.
Maybe you could help them too.
Oh.
Do I believe them? You know what? Never mind. I believe them.
Okay.
Castiel believes them. I think we gotta go check this house out, see what's going on.
Okay.
If this is what you want to do, we need to tread very carefully. Feel uneasy.
I think all of us feel pretty uneasy.
Nothing about this feels good.
Yeah.
We were brought here for a reason, and people are in trouble. What other reason could we be here for?
Amen.
Amen.
Yeah, Tarsus. Well, which was the one that looked the sadder of the two? There was one that I feel like you, at least my perception of it, is like smaller and
The little boy.
Yeah, that would be Thorn, the little boy. He was like actively crying, and what's not difficult to discern, his big sister Rose. She doesn't look happy, but she seems to be keeping it together a little better.
Yeah. So for the little boy, I'm gonna that's a 2 on a sleight of hand for me trying to pull a coin out of his ear and hand it to him. So it looks horrible, but
you bring the coin to his ear and you're like, oh, look, a coin.
and I'll make a show of it, coin out of the ear, hand it to him, and just say, we're gonna find your baby brother, baby sibling, and see what's going on in that house. Don't worry.
I think the kid kind of is almost like a little skittish when you start it, but doesn't fully withdraw, and then kind of looks slightly confused as to how clumsy of an attempt it was, but then kind of just looks up to his sister, and she just kind of shrugs and nods. Thank you.
Are your parents?
I like your scales.
I do too, thank you.
Kind of reaches out and just touches your hand. Just, that's it.
Where are your parents?
I don't know. They normally have their friends in the basement.
Their friends are in the basement with the monster. Great.
Well, when they come and visit.
What's your younger brother's name? Bud? Stem?
Walter. They look at each other confused.
I don't think I've ever met a kid named Walter before. That's an old man name.
They gotta start as kids at some point, right?
Well, we're about to, so I guess we go find them.
Seeing as how this mist is steering us in a direction, doesn't seem to want us to go in any other direction. Suppose we prepare to enter this home. And just kind of readjust his armor a little bit, kind of make sure everything's tightened down well.
All right. I guess with that we could go to the map if you'd like.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you see a wrought iron gate with hinges on one side and a lock on the other fills the archway of a stone portico. And you also see oil lamps hanging from the portico, but just oil lamps hanging from the portico ceiling by chains.
Are they lit?
They are not lit, no. And if I read any directions, I don't know why map makers ever do this. North is to the left. If I do say south or anything like that, we could confirm, but north is to the left, east is to the top.
That makes sense.
Michael stays in character. Love it.
I feel like every single Michael character is just Michael.
Just another dip of another aspect of his personality.
One of my other personalities coming out.
It's dark in there, you're saying?
Uh-oh. Castiel, your biggest is showing.
Why is he gonna slam the door down?
Oh, just throw it open.
No. He's not a door thrower opener. That's not Castiel's style.
He's like, I could fit through him. I'm so small.
He knocks politely and goes, "Hello." No, I'm kidding.
Do you want to go into the area up there?
I was gonna light one of the torches with Druidcraft.
Yeah, like the
The little
one of the
lanterns. Yeah.
yeah.
Is
It lights
anyone
as you expect.
actively taking the lead here, like with entering?
If no one else did, I'd walk in, but he's not gonna try to.
After I would have lit that lamp.
What I mean by that is, if no one's actively taking a lead, Castiel's not stopping, but is anyone trying to I'm the one entering first?
I think I probably would.
I'd be right behind.
I wouldn't be talking. I would just be kind of doing things.
Yeah, so just move your character around as you're interacting with anything, and
So I would have grabbed the lantern, and then these are windows, so I definitely would have looked in a window first.
yeah, you just see. I'll just give a little bit of a. It's difficult for the light to get through.
Okay.
You see what looks like a table and chairs.
Okay. But does it look like there's like a lot of dust accumulation or anything like that? Like, does it look like people actually live here?
It actually looks surprisingly well kept. I mean, it's dark. It doesn't. There's like no activity at all. But like you don't see like cobwebs and like dust, like you said. It looks like perhaps it's maintained.
Where are the kids now?
The kids are still on the road. They're maybe a little bit closer now by like maybe where
Like back
like
here?
a little like a walkway.
Yeah. Okay. They're just watching.
Yeah, Rose seems to just be trying to make sure her brother doesn't lose it.
Running up. All right. Well, I hate this. I guess we're going in. Well, is it obnoxious for me to walk around the first floor first?
No, you can if you want.
Okay. Yeah, I would definitely do a perimeter sweep. I mean, while I'm doing this, everyone can do whatever they want, but I would definitely.
Did you
walk
say
around.
anything to us?
Oh, no. Absolutely.
Okay, so
Okay.
Castiel's gonna go and open the door.
And I would show you more to the right, but that's where the second floor is on the
I
map.
had a
So.
feeling. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a second floor, eh?
Yes, you can see at least 3
Spoiler.
stories.
I mean, the fact that it said
I
first
know.
floor kind of.
Try not to expose anything I'm not supposed to.
Please don't.
Aren't we all?
It's not that kind of stream.
Giggity. Giggity. It's a family stream here.
Except for Lee, he's the only one.
I
Do
know,
see
we have to
anything
blur him
in
out.
These windows back here are kind of the same. There's not a lot to be seen.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The windows on the back side of the house.
Yep. It looks like maybe a dining room of sorts.
Okay, a little more elegant.
Yeah, it looks like it's like it doesn't look like it's set for service.
Okay. But just kind of like more of the same. Like it looks, there's not a lot of like dust or cobwebs, or it looks like people still live
Correct.
here. Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
and those
then
look
I'd come
like
around
chimneys
front.
on the side. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, and then I'd come around front and they're wherever they are.
Yep. The rusty gate. Well, when you guys, we'll say while you're walking around, we'll come back. We'll tell you when you join them.
Yeah.
The rusty gate shrieks when you open it. You know, and it's kind of almost like echoey, like it's a little like annoyingly loud.
I stop Castiel and look at him and say, "That gate just meowed us." I don't actually do that. Sorry, Jake.
I feel offended. No. And then you just come to 2 oak doors.
Yeah, is the door locked?
No, it looks like you could just open it.
So
Okay. I think everybody in this campaign has dark vision, if I'm not mistaken. Right? Yeah, elf, gnome, dragon. The new dragonborn does,
I guess.
and Asimar does too. Yeah.
Everyone
yeah,
gets the
so-
dark vision.
Woo! Hanging on the south wall, which is the wall to your right of this foyer, is a shield emblazoned with a coat of arms. It's a stylized golden windmill on a red field, flanked by framed portraits of stony-faced aristocrats. Mahogany-framed double doors leading from the foyer to the main. Excuse me. Mahogany-framed double doors leading from the foyer are standing before you and are set with panes of stained glass.
Is Gar in the room?
Yeah, I'll come in. Yeah.
You ever seen this that crest in your book?
Does that look familiar at all? Nope. Nothing.
I would continue. Just open the door again if it's unlocked.
It is unlocked.
Do we hear anything?
It's like creepily quiet.
Didn't the kids say the monster was making lots of noise?
Yes. I think they very specifically said that.
So this is like a wide hall here. There's a black marble fireplace to the left by Gar, just above him. And then on the other side, you see a sweeping red marble staircase, which clearly goes up to the second floor. Mounted on the wall above the fireplace looks to be a long sword with a windmill cameo worked into the hilt. The wood-paneled walls are ornately sculpted with images of vines, flowers, nymphs, and satyrs.
Does Aurelion join us at this point?
I think it's safe to say he's now walking in.
How dark is it in here?
Honestly, if you didn't have dark vision, there's not even moonlight getting through. Which, even though you have dark vision, I'd say you'd still be able to tell.
Well, I would have been bringing in one of those oil lamps that was lit.
Sure. But that is the only light source.
So, what are we doing? Are we looking for the baby brother? Are we looking for the monster? What's the goal here?
Well, he said the monster was downstairs. His baby brother, I think, was on the 3rd floor, if I remember correctly.
Yes,
I kind of want to say going after the monster, but
We can't go after anything until we make sure that each floor is secure. And I'll sneak into this door.
Okay.
Trying to be as quiet as I possibly can.
Yeah, while we do that, let's take a 5-minute break. And we'll be right back.
and it might be faster for you.
Here at J&J Tabletop, we're trying to help you get the most out of your games by helping you unlock what works best for you at your table. Whether you're a player or dungeon master, or even play other systems, we'll help you take your experiences to the next level. Subscribe today and get even more out of your games. Our very own Lee, who plays Gar Vochizar, scaled Mount Kilimanjaro, and is as Irish as they come, also has his own YouTube channel dedicated entirely to making D&D fun again. Highly imitated, never duplicated. You will laugh, learn, and enjoy his content, so head to youtube.com/@thiscrits and subscribe today. Our graphic overlays were created by our Dungeon Master Jake at TTRPGoverlay.com. TTRPGoverlay.com is the premier resource for quality D&D and TTRPG actual play graphic overlays. Our overlay packs, like this one, the Gothic Castle, are designed to be simple and enhance your content, which in our opinion is you. Stop by TTRPGoverlay.com today and check out what we've got, including some free examples. Remember, you and your content are special. Our products help everyone see that. We appreciate every kind of support that J&J Tabletop gets. Watching and sharing our videos will always be the primary way you can do that. However, if you enjoy our content, please consider joining our channel as a member. It's a direct way to let us know you believe in what we are doing, and it helps us improve our content. We will be adding to the list of perks we offer as we get ideas, so check back regularly to see what's new.
Don't forget to smash that like button.
All right, so Aurelion, you walk into what is certainly the dining room. The centerpiece of this wood-paneled dining room is a beautifully carved mahogany table that is surrounded by 8 high-backed chairs with sculpted armrests and cushioned seats. And a crystal chandelier hangs above the table. Mounted above the marble fireplace is a mahogany-framed painting of an alpine vale. The wall paneling is carved with elegant images of deer among the trees. On the south wall, which of course is the right side, a tapestry depicting hunting dogs and horse-mounted aristocrats chasing after a wolf hangs from an iron rod bolted to the south wall.
Based on the clothing that the kids were wearing, does that make sense for this ornate, elaborate, deep-rooted family tie, this, formal dining room?
Yeah, like the overall
Like,
aesthetic.
do the styles match? Does it make sense?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, like I said, it's the fashion and everything is a little bit different than anything you've seen before, but
But like based on these aristocrats that we're seeing in these.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not based on everything you've even seen. Having like a dining room of this size and a house of this size, this family has done well. Is anyone joining Aurelion in there, or are they doing anything else?
What's behind the door, just east of me?
Nice. That is 2B. It's a cloakroom, and it has several black cloaks hanging from hooks on the walls, and a top hat sits on a high shelf.
Oh, wow.
This is such a Tarsus moment.
I so wish I wasn't playing a good character, because that hat and cloak would be on me.
I mean, you could do whatever you like.
No, he would not. came here to help
What about
these people,
Gar and
not rob.
Castiel?
Castiel would open this
Fair
door
enough.
to the west of him.
I love that you guys are...
I'm kind of splitting the difference between everyone.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Hold up. No.
Make a deck save.
That's later.
Are those
This oak-paneled room looks like a hunter's den. Mounted above the fireplace is a stag's head, and positioned around the outskirts of the room are 3 stuffed wolves. But I do think it's, given the circumstances and the setting and the context, there could definitely be a moment of, like, oh. You also see 2 padded chairs draped in animal furs face the hearth, with an oak table between them, supporting a cask of wine, 2 carved wooden goblets, a pipe rack, and a candelabrum. Another chandelier hangs above a cloth-covered table. That's the one that Nooch saw through the window. I lost my spot. Surrounded by 4 chairs. You also see 2 cabinets against the walls.
Castiel does not like this room, so he leaves.
All right. And you, Lee, you said Gar's just kind of like, I'm just not taking the lead. I'm just watching. That kind of a, yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Looks like Aurelion is leaving the dining room. Is that right?
I'm not touching anything. I'm just,
No, that's that's fair. I just was wanting to see what you were doing, or if you were doing anything else in there.
yeah. No, I was gonna circle out and then, basically explain what I saw behind my room to everybody.
Yeah.
And then, guess this is the last door, so in we go.
When you explain that, I'll just say, they really hate wolves here.
Hunters. I think they're above the natural order.
Hunting for sport. The worst kind of low.
No, I'm just saying, is this a bathroom?
Yeah, it's a very reasonable guess. This is a kitchen area. It appears to be quite tidy, with dishware, cookware, and utensils neatly placed on the shelves. The work table there off to the right has a cutting board and a rolling pin on top of it. There is a stone dome-shaped oven that stands near the east wall. Its bent iron stovepipe connecting to a hole in the ceiling. Behind the stove and to the left is a thin door.
There's like cabinets and stuff like that.
Yeah, I guess towards the bottom, like near where Aurelion is.
Like right where I walk in.
Yeah. In fact, roll a dexterity. No, I'm just kidding.
I would open one.
Rolling everything save.
Rolling everything.
I would.
How many saving
open
throws?
one of these and
All of them.
take a look to see what's inside it. Like,
You just see like cups, plates, like very standard things you'd expect to see in a kitchen.
okay, but I haven't seen any food in the kitchen.
Correct.
Last pantry.
It's a pantry.
All right.
It actually seems well stocked, and the pantry appears to be fresh.
What's this? Is there any way to I don't see, it doesn't look like there's any door or anything, but I see that on the far left there's something blocked off. Is that something that we see, or just
As far as you can tell, you wouldn't notice it's there. If you want to search or just roll an intelligence check to
No, that's okay.
about the math don't add up. I mean, like, it's not that hard. I mean, you see next to the closet that you actually opened.
It looks like there should be.
Like, I don't think it's that unreasonable.
Based
It doesn't
on
look
spatial
unreasonable
awareness. Okay.
Yeah, like it's like, oh, that's a little.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll what should I roll?
Roll an
Engineering.
investigation or a civil engineering check.
There's definitely a game where they have that.
Oh, yeah.
Investigation would be a 13.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely feel like there should be something there, but there's nothing that's nothing. There doesn't seem to be like a secret room or like a button or move this book and it'll open.
Yeah, I'm like running my hands
like
along the
Yeah.
wall, like looking for
Right.
like, is there something there I missed or not? And then I just kind of like shrug. Like, all right.
What's Castiel been doing while Aurelion searched the kitchen and Tarsus is looking over in that corner?
So this staircase is going up, right?
That's correct.
No, has anyone found a staircase going down?
Not yet.
That I found.
Because, I mean, I'm not that well read, but aren't dungeons usually underground or like down? Who goes up to the
Nooch,
dungeon?
to be fair, in that bottom corner of the kitchen, there does appear to be like a small door of sorts.
Hey?
Who knows? North is east, east is south. I don't know.
You want to open it?
Oh, there is a small door here. It's the last place on this floor we haven't checked.
You know what they say, small doors are made for small people.
Do they? I've never heard that before.
You have now, as I go over to where the door is.
Tarsus smiles and chuckles.
Are you opening it? Or what are you guys doing?
Did Aurelion try to open the door before I get there? Well, Castiel will try to open it.
It looks like a dumbwaiter.
Does it go down?
And you look like you could fit in it. But you're uncertain if it could go down. But there is a simple rope and pulley mechanism that looks like it needs to be operated manually. Oh, and there's also a tiny brass bell attached to wires that look like they're next to it.
How many bells are there, and are they labeled?
That's a really good question. There are, I want to say 2, but they're not labeled, and I want to reserve the right to correct myself in the future.
Are there different sizes?
No.
Same note.
It's just
Well,
2
I
of them.
mean, it does look like it can fit, but I feel like that's probably not the smartest choice at the moment.
I wasn't gonna put you in there.
Well, no, I would climb in. You would have to put me in there. I kind of like give you a look when you say that. Like,
Nobody puts
like, you were thinking about
Castiel
putting
in a
me
corner.
there. That's the second sus thing he's done.
I brought you all here.
Well, I mean, I guess the only way right now is up. Now, as I'm starting to go up this, I'm actually gonna do some bright sparks, if I can, out of my hands to like make the area lit up.
Yeah. What does it normally look like when he does this sort of a thing?
So, I mean, it literally just kind of looks like a bright light just emanates from his fingers. I mean, almost kind of like miniature lightning, but without the smell and obviously the sound of it. So but it kind of just like looks like that, and it just kind of almost like lightens the room up for 3 to 5 seconds, and then just kind of like goes dim. So it's not like a sustained, super long light, but lights up for a good little bit. And it does have a bluish glow to it.
I'm going to move you over to where you emerge off to the right on the side of the map there that I just revealed. Whoever's following can follow along. Unlit oil lamps are mounted on the walls of this elegant hall. Hanging above the mantelpiece on the far wall, the north wall, is a wood-framed portrait of what looks to be a man, a nobleman, a noblewoman, 2 smiling children that seem like younger versions of the 2 that you saw, and cradled in the father's arms is a swaddled baby. And the mother seems to be looking at the baby with a hint of scorn. You also see 4 suits of armor that flank doors to the east and the west. Each suit of armor clutches a spear and has a visored helm shaped like a wolf's head. The doors are carved with dancing youths, or Utes, depending on your culture. And of course, the marble staircase, once you get to the landing, continues up to the 3rd floor. Which actually you feel a cold draft coming from that direction.
Did we notice like a hole in the roof or anything like that when we were coming up to it, the house?
No, but
Is the
No.
draft colder than it was outside?
It's a great question. I'm going to say yes. Maybe not significantly so, but a little bit.
I use Druidcraft to light the lanterns.
This room is now lit. It is off the hook.
I mean, nothing like partying with some suits of armor.
They like heavy metal music.
Bump, bump.
And then we have 3 doors? Or 2 doors?
2 doors and a staircase.
Okay. This isn't a door, like right above me.
Oh, yes, actually, that's true. I missed that.
Can I go into this door?
You can.
Can I check and see if it's locked?
Oh, yeah, what do you do?
Just
Just try to
I
open
guess
it.
I would just like I would light
Turn the doorknob.
handle and then like slowly like just very slowly feeling for like any resistance or like any like tingling, like just slowly turning it to see if I feel anything abnormal to a doorknob.
Seems like a normal doorknob.
Okay. I would keep going. And if I never felt any of that, then I would just slowly open it and walk in.
Yeah. No, it works.
Okay. Little bedroom.
This appears to be an undecorated bedroom, which contains a pair of beds with straw-stuffed mattresses. And at the foot of each bed is a footlocker. Oh, and that little doorway in the corner there resembles what you saw in the kitchen.
Okay.
I guess I'll try to open this door up to the east.
Okay.
But I would actually try to open the doors slowly.
Okay. I will begin revealing what you find. Red velvet drapes cover the windows of this room. An exquisite mahogany desk and a matching high-back chair face the entrance and the fireplace, above which hangs a framed picture of a windmill perched atop a rocky crag. Situated in corners of the room are 2 overstuffed chairs. Floor-to-ceiling bookshelves line the south wall, and a rolling wooden ladder allows one to more easily reach the high shelves.
These people have such an odd sense of style. Like, what is this decor? And is this house all for one family?
I guess Tarsus was heading down to the,
Yeah, Tarsus is heading west to the door.
Okay. Did you open it?
Yeah, if it's unlocked.
Okay, I was like, that's probably something I should ask before I clicked that first.
Fair enough, but that was the goal.
Gossamer drapes cover the windows of this elegantly appointed hall, which has a brass-plated chandelier hanging from the ceiling. Upholstered chairs line the walls, and stained glass wall hangings depict beautiful men, women, and children singing and playing instruments. There's a harpsichord with a bench that rests in the northwest corner. And near the fireplace is a large standing harp. Alabaster figurines of well-dressed dancers adorn the mantelpiece.
Castiel does roll his fingers across the harp to see if it's in tune.
Yes. You just... I mean, like, I imagine there's...
Dead silent other than...
I know, I was gonna say, I was like, I know Tarsus is wearing chainmail and, like, you know, you've got equipment, but, like, it's noticeably louder, and you just hear, like, like the whole little gamut that he does. It feels a little out of tune, but not, like, hideously out of tune.
I was about to take a look at the curtain and I would just immediately glare at Castiel afterwards.
Tarsus smiles at Castiel.
I'll be in there.
You play?
Not very well. And nothing this size. Normally it's, you know, a little bit, you know, a harp you can hold in your hand. Not this. This is 3 times my size.
Yeah, he like reached me really far to get the whole thing.
He had to, like,
Does Castiel play the mouth
take
harp?
2 steps as he went.
Like, do you want to have Castiel play the mouth harp? I'm down. I'm just saying.
Play Mean Kazoo.
Mouth harp is the
It's
coolest
up to you,
thing.
though.
Are the kids outside still? These old.
Actually, because if you're on the second floor, roll a perception check.
15 plus several. 6, I think.
I would say you don't notice them at. Okay, I would say you don't immediately notice them, but you do see like movement which draws your eye, and you're like, oh yeah, okay, I can see them now.
Did the movement like felt just like they're just kind of like standing there, movement, or like movement like they're darting?
No, just like natural movement, like
Okay.
like it wasn't urgent or stressed.
Tim Burton Halloween tab nonsense.
To the 3rd floor, I guess. This.
Do we have to go up to go down?
Gotta go up to get down.
I'm gonna be like
Okay.
easing up these stairs as much as possible, trying to stay quiet and like just trying to like peek over the banister when I start like getting up there to look around.
I think I accidentally hid like all of our character tokens trying to.
Yeah, I was about to say you moved us all into
You
the
did.
void.
Oh,
We're being eaten by the monster! Ah!
there you go.
Oh, okay.
Move. Yeah, move wherever you want to be. Josh is like, oh, my bad.
I'll go up here.
You climb the red marble staircase to its full height, and now like the state of cleanliness is noticeably different. Like, this is a dusty balcony. There's a suit of black plate armor standing against the one wall, and it's draped in cobwebs. You've got oil lamps mounted on the oak panel walls, which are carved with woodland scenes of trees, falling leaves, and tiny critters. Is that more or less where you're standing? Don't you love when the dungeon master asks that question?
That's where I'm standing.
Would I
Where I'm
been able
standing.
to see that it was dirty from like halfway back here or something like that, since I was trying to like just look over and get my bearings as I was coming up the stairs?
I think that's fair.
Alright, then I would not be up there.
Okay. But Gar, Tarsus, and Castiel just blow right past Aurelion.
I would be like,
I'm trying to like just follow people. I'm just trying to keep like my eyes open,
Yeah.
really, more than
Yeah.
anything.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll say I'll just move the tokens to just show kind of what I think kind of the sequence of events. We'll say Tarsus and Castiel get here, Castiel takes a step here, Tarsus takes a step forward, and as soon as he does, the armor moves, comes to life, and takes a swipe at Tarsus. And that's where we're going to end our first episode of Curse of Strahd versus the Amen. Gentlemen, this has been
I keep forgetting the A part.
don't
The
don't
Amen.
orphans.
Yeah, helping out children in need never works out well.
Don't
At
do
least
it.
in Dungeons and Dragons.
Especially if they're like 18th century aristocrats.
What do you mean? This clearly isn't their fault.
Yeah, so that's going to do it for this episode. We're going to get the next one coming out next week. If you are new to this channel, please subscribe. Check out youtube.com/@thiscrits. And if you're interested in other playthroughs while you're waiting for the next episode to drop, we've got Eve of Ruin run by Josh here. We've got Dragon of Icespire Peak, Dragons of Stormwreck Isle, and Ancient Relics and Hokey Religions, all of which have been run by either me or Josh. So with that, thank you so much for watching. And don't forget to be kind to one another, because it actually does make a difference in the world. Take care, everybody. See you next time.
Keep an eye out for Friday Night Fights.
Oh yeah, you're gonna want to fight on Friday.
Yeah. Ask about it in the comments or just join the Discord.
Link in the link tree.